just come. We must never stop the way, yeah. Birds chirping and I hear my name, grasping into life. Life is happy but it's so insane. We must merely make a start. Savannah, I'm coming home. Savannah, we'll never be alone. Savannah, the beauty of the world. Savannah, let's all take a walk. Savannah. Lion's gonna come. The birds have just begun. We will always take a stand for the people, for the land. Let's go back to when we were young.
Sorry, guys. I was muted there for a second. So I will repeat myself. What's up, everybody? Welcome. Mlb Dfs pre-lock live, yourfearlesschoice.com. I am not sold today, so I'm not as lonely. I got a nice co-host guest, Corey Hannon, here with me today. What's up, my man? What's going on?
Not much. Just made it home just in time off the baseball field to talk baseball, so it works out well.
Tough life, right?
Yeah, tough life.
You go from coaching to playing DFS, and you might be a help today because, well, I guess first of all, what we thought was going to be a bad weather day is actually turning out to be not a bad weather day. Mets got canceled, so that knocks DeGrom off of our list, which I think actually helps some decisions.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, he was obviously a must play, and then it was dealing who you're going to play for your SB2 is going to be Bauer or Nola, or to go on to Pivetta. So it does clear it up a little bit. Looking at any other weather games, I just saw an update. There's nothing really that's like threatening beside Mets St. Louis game. I'm sorry, did I just say the Mets game was canceled? It wasn't canceled. They scratched the ground.
Yep.
So
finally,
I got a feeling they might. I mean, unless you think differently, I got a feeling they might have actually scratched him because of this. Not the first game he's had to deal with possible rain delays and all that. So, I mean, he didn't look like there's anything wrong with him his last start.
Yeah, no, I think it's because of the weather, because Stroman pitched and then had to come out of that one game, and he went crazy on Twitter. So I think they're just being intelligent and like, you're not going to waste DeGrom on 30 pitches and miss him for 5 days. So scratch him, move on to the next day.
And there's still a bunch of rain coming here. So I think you're right. So we probably want to fade most of these. Probably because there's so many games today, I probably would be looking at mostly fading this game and not taking a chance, but there's plenty of plays in other spots. But it looks like the Yankee game is good to go now. That's going to hold off till after the game. Same thing. What else you got? What right now looks like I just saw Washington just got hit, but it's going to be clearing out. So they may be a brief late start, but that's good to go. So everything else is good. So
yep,
makes a big difference. So once again, YFC.com or yourfearlesschoice.com, $35 a month for 6 months. Best deal you're going to find anywhere as we cover all sports. WNBA starts in less than 2 weeks. I think it's the 14th or 15th. Walt Waddell, you all know our college football guy. He's going to be doing WNBA. He's going to be good. We're going to be doing a DFS WNBA preview maybe this weekend. So that's something good going. Beside MLB, plus we have some other sports. We have like Aussie. I think Aussie rules football is still going on right now. You play that, right?
Yeah. It's like 2 days a week. I think right now, maybe 3. There's like a showdown once a week, and then 2 full 5-game ones. And then KBO just comes back on Wednesday. Yeah, tonight. I think it's a 12:58 start tonight. So
Yeah,
us
I know
East Coasters.
there was no
Nice.
KBO last night, right?
Yeah, it was a day off. It was like a scheduled day off on top of the Monday off. So
Oh,
that's
okay.
okay. It's hard to wake up in the morning.
And if you look at our Woody lineups every morning, you guys are cashing that KBO. I don't think there's been a day you guys haven't cashed. So, I mean, that's our thing. YFC, we're pretty much knit sports, but we cover everything, especially MLB with our cheat sheet that's been around for years. It gets updated, it gets tweaked daily. Right now, I think it's the best. So, take a look at that, and let's move right on to pitching. I think there's two ways to go here. And I become a fan lately of if you got two aces going, I become a fan on there's value, especially a slate like tonight. We can find value somewhere tonight with all these games. My strategy anymore has been you roll the two aces, take your 55 to 60 points or plus, and move on. And that's Trevor Bauer and Aaron Nola both going tonight.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's definitely. I mean, you got two aces on there. I mean, taking DeGrom out super helps because then you have to narrow it down to two instead of maybe 2 out of 3.
Right.
I mean, I'm not a Bauer fan, like as I said, as a player, just as a person, but for DFS, I mean, he's a solo home run guy that gives up, but he'll punch out 10 a night. I mean, he's going to pitch deep into every single game that he throws. And then obviously Aaron Nola going up against. I've been bouncing around looking at schedules. I don't even know who they're playing tonight.
No, Noah's
Milwaukee.
playing Milwaukee.
Yeah, I mean, I don't even know if Yelich is playing again tonight, but that lineup is not as strong as it has been in the past. So, he's a number one for a reason. I mean, yeah, I like both of those plays. I mean, and then obviously the value guy would be Pivetta against Detroit. I mean, if he's had a couple good outings in a row, so if you want to go that route, but yeah, I mean, we've talked so many times about two starting pitchers getting 30 points each. I mean, you need 3 hitters to hit a home run to catch up to that. So, they're gonna get you 18 points minimum probably, no matter what. So, that's as good as a triple and 2 RBIs. So, I like that route.
Totally agree. I think Noah's probably got a little bit of a better, and actually Yelich is not starting tonight, so let's put Nola in a better spot. I think Noah's got a little bit of a better matchup, with Milwaukee. Remember Bauer's game is a 7-inning game, so you got to watch playing bats in that game because you're going to lose probably at least 1 or 2 at bats unless it goes an extra innings, or you never know. But Bauer, you get a complete game out of him. Remember, Bauer's not on FanDuel, so if you're playing FanDuel, I would just lock in there and Nola and move on. And if you look at that Cubs lineup, pretty much we got David Bolt batting cleanup, Jason Hayward 5th. So Rizzo's in. There's no Baez. Jock's leading off. No Hap. Vargas 6, Sogard 7, Walters 8. That's a watered down lineup. They actually beat up Kershaw today in the first inning. That's a watered down lineup. So yeah, you got to go Bauer at 10-7. Go both of them.
Yep.
But you got to bring up Nick Pivetta. He is catching the ownership. All 3 of them guys like around between 30 and 40%. And Pivetta is going to be popular because once again he's playing the Tigers, the worst offense in baseball. I saw a weird stat today that the Tigers are averaging 6 runners on base a game for like the last 6 games, something like that. Some crazy stat. And they're bad.
Yeah, that's bad. Yeah.
I'm not a Pivetta guy. He's actually hasn't been that bad this year. He's 3-0. 25 innings. He's got 25 Ks, but he's got 17 walks. His whole career, he's had control issues. He never earned strikes from the umpires. Batters don't chase him. But he goes deep and he lives home runs. So I'm waiting for that Pivetta blow up game. I'm not saying it's going to come today against the Tigers, but it scares me, and I just can't see myself going toward Pivetta when I got guys like Bauer and Aaron Nola going today.
Yeah, no, and there's enough value. I mean, like I've already looked it over a little bit. Like there's value at catcher if you need to. I mean, there's value at first base. So there's a whole bunch of different ways to go that you can easily fit them in. I don't think we'll have an issue at all, and especially because the Rockies game's not on the schedule either. So you don't have to worry about Colorado games. So that's another nice one.
Which definitely helps. And I saw in the chat that Kurloff is out today. He's finally sitting the game. Yep, I just saw that. Okay, cool. So there goes one value. But Anybody else you see on the slate that you could be looking for multi-entry and GPPs or anything?
I mean, I looked a little bit at Lamette, but he's coming off of the 10-day DL.
Yeah.
He's definitely, in San Diego. I mean, it's definitely a pitcher's park against Pittsburgh. Is not a great lineup. I mean, Greinke's got good numbers actually against the Yankees, but it's in New York, and that's just a tough field to play at. I mean, so you have no idea what's going to go on. So, I mean, I'd take Herman out too. I mean, and that game's going to be crazy because the fans are going to want, every Astro to get hit by a pitch and this and that. It just could become a blow-up game for, it could be a couple of benches clearing. I mean, who knows what's going to go on? I mean, the Yankees just have to admit that they lost, but it's okay.
Totally agree.
Other than that, yeah, I mean, Hap, is another guy that you could be intrigued because, that Texas lineup I don't think is that good, even though, I know we played against him yesterday. His numbers aren't bad his last two starts. He's going to get strikeouts. Like, what do you have? He only gave 4 hits the other day, 2 runs, but he had 18 fantasy points. I mean, it's a lot of money to pay for a guy with 18 points, but then his last start, he had 25 before that. So, he's a guy you can maybe throw in. He's a GPP or a multi-entry guy. I don't do that stuff. So, I'm just throwing it out there. But, those are some options.
I actually like the other side of that game. I like the Rangers signing against Hap. Some reason because I think Hap's done. I'm waiting for him to implode. I got a couple. I'm this McClanahan kid for Tampa. We saw him pitch the last game. The kid throws triple digits, throws with fire. I think GBPs. I think he's got a decent matchup today. I wouldn't mind throwing him out there. 7K. Also, as long as the Met games goes, it's Johan Oviedo going against the Mets. I have no problem throwing him at 6'6". He's a low price guys. And also but not I see a blow up coming out of this Cobb. I've been on Cobb too much this year. Probably that's really it. Maybe GVPs, maybe Kyle Gibson. Kyle Gibson's actually had a really good year. Against this Twins lineup. Twins are either boom or bust here tonight. So maybe a little bit of Kyle Gibson and GVPs only.
Yep.
All right. Going around the bases, catching tonight. Do you have the cheat sheet in front of you or no?
Yeah. So Salvador Perez is the clear cut, 17%. I mean, you got some value. Real Muto's at 13%. That's just 5,400 is a lot to pay for a catcher. And he's streaky, like he's on hot for one game and then he's cold for another game. I like the value in the Contreras in the Atlanta-Washington game. He's a punt play at 2,800. He's got 1 start, but he got 7 points right off the bat. I mean, if you're trying to pay down at a spot, I mean, even if he gets one, he gets a base hit, but you can pay up somewhere else. I mean, he's a good. I like him, as my catcher. He's actually in there right now just to save the spot. Salvador Perez is obviously the guy. I mean, I know he's been pretty hot lately too. I mean, but he's a catcher. They're so streaky sometimes. It's tough. There's no pure hitter and catcher anymore.
Yeah, Perez is crushing right now. A good spot. And they also got this kid there. One thing with the Royals here, they're going against this kid for oh my God, his Henkes. That's how you pronounce it. I don't know much about him, but I'm on the Royals today. Especially this kid hasn't pitched above AA, so this is his first game. Sam Henkes. It's one of those. I think Philip Matone may be starting, and then Henkes coming in one way or the other. But I am on the Royals today, so I would be looking guys like Perez, Santana, all these guys. But I just think Perez is a lot of money since we're using Nola and Bauer. So totally agree with the Contreras call at 2.8. He's actually batting 7th. He popped up 1 in the order, like his spot. I do like Zunino. Is as long as did Zunino make the lineup? Is the Rays out yet? Zunino is because Zunino's batting 7. Zunino hits righties with power, especially a guy like Alex Cobb. I could see a jack coming from Zunino tonight. And who else? Of course, Sean Murphy for Oakland because he's going against the left-hander. This K kid doesn't impress me, so I don't mind Sean Murphy. He did me wrong last night. I had an offer. I can't see him going another offer against a lefty. I mean, he puts the ball in the air 60 right now, 60% in the air right now this season with a 333 ISO. That's power numbers right now. So I like Sean Murphy too, but that's probably more of a GPP play.
Yep.
All right, first base. We got anybody real high ownership at first?
Freddie Freeman's at 20%, and then the next you got Josh Bell at 14%. So I mean Freddie Freeman, but I don't think he's still right, in my opinion. He's still not really crushing like he can.
Yep.
So
and that's my problem with Freeman. I want to play him every night. I want to play him tonight because I was looking over numbers before against. I mean, he matches up so well with Joe Ross today. 5 for 10 lifetime against them with a couple homers, which right there helps. It's a lot of money. I keep getting burned by using Freddie. I keep saying this is gonna be a night. He comes in. This is gonna be a night. So
he's 1 for 17 his last 17 at bats. So I mean that's tough to play him. And I know and we've talked about that on the side of like playing hitters that are hitting, not just playing the guy that's the fit. And is like if he's not on, it's hard to really justify 5,700 for a guy that's 1 for his last 17.
Yeah.
Now he might hit 2 home runs tonight, and then we're gonna look like idiots. But until he does it day in and day out, I mean, it's really hard to like want to spend that much money when there's some other players you could definitely fit in there. Like Vladimir playing, pitching against a lefty is another guy. I mean, he's another guy. He's a freaky hitter, but you're paying less for him, and he's actually got his last 4 games, 13 points, 4 points, 9 points, 13 points. I mean, I would take that on a value, at a lesser price. I mean, not much. I mean, it's $100, but still. Yeah. So I don't know. Yeah. I mean, first base, I haven't even looked at who I'm actually going to put in there yet. I'm just kind of, waiting it out. I can always fill that in later if I have to.
And I agree. And I probably think you take probably more of a chance with Freddie, even though he matches up with the Ross. I said Hoskins, good spot, crushes lefties. We all know about Santana. Santana's on fire right now, and he gets this kid now who hasn't started over Double-A. But so Kirilloff is out. I like Matt Olson. He's going to be low owned, lefty versus lefty. He crushes lefties, and a lot of people don't realize that. And K allows lefty power. But I'm thinking about all the way down to Josh Bell, I guess. I mean, Bell's probably going to be popular. What's his ownership? You seen right? And the Chiefs will update again before a lock. But I'm thinking more popular, right?
Yeah, he's 14% right now. I mean, he's a value guy at 3,900 at the position. I mean, without Kirilloff in at 3,200. So yeah, if you're trying to pay down, I mean, it's definitely him. I mean, you could look at the guy Mountcastle for Baltimore too, who's at 3,100 as another guy. I don't know, not much about him, but he's another value guy that you could look at over there.
Yep.
But yeah, I mean, Bell's obviously got the ownership for like the value play at first base. That game does have a chance for rain, but I think they're going to play too. So I don't think it'll be that much of an issue.
Yeah, and I think when you see the update, you're going to see his ownership jump up.
Yeah.
I'm seeing his name popping everywhere right now as one of the top first. Besides Hoskins,
2 for 4 yesterday. 4 RBIs. He was 1 for 4 2 nights ago. With 2 RBIs. So I mean, he's starting to kind of get. He's only batting $140. That's the hard thing too. You look at a guy that he's streaking, but he's batting $140 on a year. So are we on the right time of him getting hot, or are you going to see another upswing on him? So yeah, I mean, it's open. I mean, I like the Santana call. I mean, we definitely have the money that you could go with a Santana who is crushing in his last 10. I mean, 7, 9, 14, 14, 11.
Oh, he's crushing.
Yeah, 8, 16, 9. I mean, he only has 1-0 in his last 10 games. So, I mean, he's definitely seeing the ball well right now. So
Santana will probably be the play. I mean, you got to pay up though. Remember, we do have those 2 big time pitchers. But I'd probably rank him. If money didn't matter, I'd probably rank him probably Santana. Then Freeman and Bell. But it may end up going Bell. Anybody else? I mean, anybody else for GPPs? Really, I don't. I mentioned Matt Olson. I really like Olson. I see Olson hitting a home run tonight. And he said he's going against lefty. People don't play him against lefty. He crushes lefty. So watch out for Olson tonight.
Yeah, and it's been updated now. So Contreras is now the top catcher's position. He's at 13%. Perez is at 12%, but I mean, he just bumped up all the way up to the top. And now Freeman's at 16% and Bell's at 13.7. So, I mean, they're definitely, you're going to save yourself 1,700 on Josh Bell, and get a guy that's in a pretty good spot. So definitely going to look at that way.
Yeah. And you're going to see, and he's going to up higher now, probably. You're probably going to see him good 40%.
Yep.
All right. So going around to second base. Second base, I'm not sure. I mean, I like Nick Solak tonight a lot against Hap. He's hitting lefties. Hap's a lefty, 256 ISO, 425 WOBA. I like him a lot. I like Albies a lot tonight too. I don't. The two Braves I would play tonight against Ross would be the lefties, Albies or Freeman, or Jay Cronenworth. He hits righties. Cronenworth's been getting bombed by left-handed bats. What's the ownership telling us?
So it's like super tight all at the top. You got Ty France, Albies, and Lowe are all at 9%. And then Merrifield's 8%, Edmonds 7%, Kiki 7%, and then Rogue is 7%. So it's really no clear-cut guy.
All right.
They're all pretty close in price range. I mean, obviously Albies and Merrifield are up there at $5,200 and $5,000. So Ty France isn't hitting at all right now, though. I know he's $4,000, but I don't think he's had a hit for a while. I was just looking that up. He's not really swinging the bat too well. He was early, and now I think he's struggling again. So I don't know. It's tough for me to pay for a guy that really isn't hitting.
Oh,
because we talked about that. Yeah. He's 0 for 4, 0 for 4, 0 for 3, 0 for 4, 1 for 4. I mean, he's and he's striking out 3 times, one time. I mean, he's definitely not hitting the ball hard anywhere. He doesn't have a game over 7 points in his last 9. So, tough for me to pay $4,000 for that. Where there's value. I mean, you could look at Arroyo for the Red Sox is a cheap guy at $3,100.
What about Josh Harrison?
Yeah, I mean, I like Josh Harrison. I mean, former teammate of mine too. I mean, he's not on the cheat sheet at all, but he's a guy. I mean, listen, if he gets a homer, he's going to have a homer and 2 doubles. Like, he's a really streaky guy like that, but he plays hard. I mean, every game he's going to grind it out. He's hit in the 3-hole too. Yep. Yeah. And his last numbers, he's got a good less, like 9 points, 15 points, 8 points, 22. I mean, he's hitting 361, so he's clearly not, he's minimal at bats. I don't think he plays every day, but yeah, he looks pretty good. That'd be a good one to look at. He's 11 for his last 36 with 1 home run, 4 RBIs, 3 walks. He strikes out a lot. He's got 8 punchies though, but you can hit a double and get a home run, and hit a home run at the same time. It's fun for me.
He's having a good season. I know Brandon Lowe is going to be popular at 4.3. He's batting cleanup today against Cobb. I mean, Cobb started out the season looked really well, but the last few games he's kind of imploded. So I've been off him now. But man, the problem with Lowe, and I'm a Brandon Lowe fan, and I like the price, but he's not hitting for power. You look at his last 3 or 4 games. Some of these games he's getting 2 hits, but he's not even getting double-digit DK points. So yeah, he's in a good spot today, batting cleanup. I see Randy Arozarena is leading off. I like Meadows batting second. I like Margot actually batting third, so I do kind of like this little raised mini stack. But man, I just don't know if I can pull the trigger on Brandon on Lowe. He's not. I mean, he's eventually going to go through because like the rest of these guys, he's not hitting the ball of power yet.
Yeah, no, it's just not worth the money. I mean, for me, I mean, I'd rather find a guy that's hitting right now. Like we talk about that all the time. Like Brandon Lowe might be the play, but if he's 0 for his last 12, it's really hard to want to pay for that. When I know a guy like Josh Harrison's, like you just said, I mean, that's a good one. I mean, 3,800, he's within price range, but he's got a 9-game hitting streak going right now. I mean, play the guys when they're hot. That's the rule I've always looked at.
Did anyone know if he's listening to my favorite Pete Alex Cobb? No. This is probably the first time all season that he hasn't been after seeing him in Houston. What was the last game he pitched? After the Houston game, he pitched against somebody, and he was just Texas, I think it was, wasn't it? I don't know. I'm done with Alex Cobb from now. So yeah, I kind of like the Josh Harrison call right now. I like Albies. I don't know if I have the money for Albies. I think he's in a good spot being a lefty tonight. I like Atlanta sneaky. But it's pretty much. And I did bring up Nicky Solak. I like Solak a lot tonight. He was originally going to be my main second baseman. Not sure if we had the money for him, but he's in there. And Jake Cronenworth definitely against Mitch Keller. Mitch Keller gets bombed by left-handed bats. That's Cronenworth.
Yep.
Third base tonight. Couple names popped up to me. Josh Donaldson, probably more of a GBP play, but I noticed he's 6'13" with 3 homers lifetime off of Kyle Gibson. I like those numbers. Devers, good spot tonight against Fulmer. The Tigers, I don't believe Fulmer's only going to pitch like 2 or 3 innings. He's not stretched out. You're going to see a bullpen game. That Detroit bullpen's horrible. Devers in play. And then I got 2 cheapies. I like Alec Boehm is actually batting cleanup tonight against Lauer. And you got Riley, who's now batting 5th because Denard's hurt. And he's batting 5th in the lineup. He's been hitting the hell of the ball for Atlanta today. So what are you thinking?
Yeah, I mean, third base is kind of a tough one for me. I mean, like the big guys, like the Machados and them, like I'm not on those guys at all. Like I had Machado and Tatis last night, and they did nothing for him. It's just nobody hit first last night. I mean, I know we talked about it. You even mentioned it. Like Starling Castro is definitely a punt play at 3,200 if you're really looking to save some more money.
He's popping up everywhere in the industry tonight, and I need somebody to tell me why. I know he's 3-2. But where's Castro in the order today? I know the Nats.
He's sitting in the 6 hole, I believe.
He's becoming a popular stack here.
Yeah, he's in the 6 hole. I mean, he's another guy. I mean, he's 1 for 4, 1 for 4, 0 for 4, 1 for 5, 2 for 4. I mean, he's basically singling to death everybody right now. It's not like he's not a base stealer. At this time, he hasn't had a stolen base all year, I don't think. So, yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's a punt play at 3,200, but there's some other guys right around that price range that you can just find that are a value play. I'd rather find the value rather than the punt. Like Dozier's coming up as a value guy, especially on our cheat sheet right now. Hunter Dozier, at 3,300 is a value play. Kyle Seager's up there at 4,300 as a cash. He's a top cash play on our cheat sheet right now.
What about Bohm batting cleanup? I mean,
Bohm's, Bohm's at 11% as a value play. So I mean, you could look at Dozier or Bohm. I mean, so you got a $400 difference, but I think Bohm's hitting better spot in the order too.
And then look how, Austin Riley's crushing the ball. I mean, it's the same hand matchup, which I'm not going to be worried that much about it with Joe Ross, but I just feel like I'm missing something on Castro. I'm seeing Castro's name popping up everywhere in the last hour or so. So
yeah, I
don't know. Maybe I'm missing something here, but at that price, to me, there's way too many other bats down there. I'd rather go with. I mean, what's it? Just Riley, Bohm, Kyle Seager. I'm a Seager guy. I like Seager. Or you can go all the way up to a guy like Devers. I think Devers is in a great spot today too, against Fulmer. He's not going to be in there long today. My problem. I just mentioned Dozier. I like all the Royals today, but what's Dozier's price?
33.
He's batting 6th. That's right. He's hitting the ball, isn't he? I forgot.
Yeah, he's had a homer last 2 games. So you're paying for. He's only batting $163 in a year, so you're paying for his last 2 games right now. If you're going to put him in there, like you're basically just rolling the dice, he's going to do it again. So damned if you do, damned if you don't. You could put him if you're running out 2 lineups. You could definitely throw him in there if you felt comfortable, or at least cover yourself with a GPP and put him in there. He's not currently in my first lineup. I usually make 2 cash lineups lately, so. He might fit in there if I see it, but I like the Riley call because I think his numbers are even better. They're more consistent than Dozier's. I'm looking for consistency. Yeah. I need a guy that consistently 14, 7, 3, 12, 29 is Riley. I feel like he's going to get on base at some point every day. You're paying 400 more for him, but you know what? No, 800 more. But if you put, you're finding value all over the place right now. So Contreras is a value guy. It may pay up. My lineup gives me 3,500 for 4 more positions, and I think we can find even value at short. So,
yeah, definitely. And Dozier's not a home run hitter, but once again, they're going against this kid that hasn't pitched much, but we've seen the last few days where we think these kids are going to come in there and get blown up, and they don't. So I don't know much about Sam Henches, but said he hasn't pitched over Double-A, so the Royals are going to be popular. And it's a guy like Dozier who's hot is going to catch some ownership. All right, I guess that's it. Matt Chapman, good GPP play. Machado, of course, GPP play. All those guys. And J-Ram. Didn't even mention J-Ram going up against Minor. So J-Ram's always in play. All right, shortstop. Shortstop is anybody that we have to try. I believe Trey Turner's now, since all these Nats are popular, the Nat stack's becoming.
Yeah.
Remember this Inoa kid, though. I mean, he's pitched some really good games. I mean, I'm not saying he's. I mean, you look at he pitched that game against the Cubs. He had over 30 DK points. He actually had a home run that game himself. Looked well at Arizona. I saw the one game against, was it Miami? He pitched really well. That was 30 DK points. So he did get blown up. He did get blown up in Wrigley. But no, yeah, that was in Wrigley. So winds blowing in also. I mean, it's in Washington. It's not a big hitter's park. I don't know. I mean, I'm missing something here with the Nationals, but Turner's going to be popular. I like playing, especially, I do like Turner because he's batting leadoff tonight. I don't like him batting third. He's batting leadoff. He's one of those guys, he gets in there, gets a walk, it's 2 stolen base. Next time he's got 10 DK points. He doesn't have a hit, kind of like Whit Merrifield. So I like Trey. This kid for Texas there, kind of Khalifa. I mean, he's stroking the ball. But I'm really on Freddie Galvis today. I was looking at Galvis's numbers going up against a right-hander, right? And because there was a few Orioles that caught my attention. Yet Justin Dunn gives up over 40% hard contact, over 45% fly ball. Galvis against righties over 42% hard contact, 42% fly ball rate, 268 ISO righties. That's a home run waiting to happen right there. That's just all lining up for home run for Galvis. And Galvis is sitting here. The lineup's not out yet, I guess, but he's going to be 3-3. He's at the bottom of the order. He's going to be low owned.
Yep. And he's having a good year. I mean, he's not, he's batting 275. I mean, that's his career as like a 250, 280 hitter. But yeah, his last 10 have been pretty good. I mean, Trey Turner is a clear cut on our cheat sheet. I mean, if you're looking at it, I mean, he is running away with it at 24% with Tatis behind him at 12. But if you are going to try to get any outfield, bats, you got to find a little bit more value with the 2 big pitchers that we're going. If you go Pavetta route, you could definitely play, these Turners and these other guys in there. But if you're going with the 2, and if you're going to go the 2 big pitchers, then you're going to have to find some value. So like a Freddie Galvis, and he's on there. I mean, once you get past Tatis, it goes anywhere from 9% to 4% for the next 5 guys. So, like Willie Adams is in there, Bogarts, Galvis, Didi, and Dansby Swanson. So it's all the games that we've been talking about anyways, about either stacking or playing guys. So, I think anyone's the right one. Freddie Galvis is on the middle road for price tag. So, I'd take him over Dansby Swanson right now because I don't want to also stack that one game just too heavily. If it goes off, it's great. But if somebody throws a gem, you're screwed.
Totally agree. And it kind of worries me with Turner, though, man. If all these guys who want to pay up, we saw him hit 2 home runs the other night, and I wasn't on him. If he's going to be over 30% owned, man,
you almost have to plan. You got to eat the
it's going to hurt if you don't have him.
Yep.
I'm not in love with him today, like some people. I mean, of course, he's a good player. Now, I'm not saying that, but this maybe we may just be stuck there with him. And as we're going through lineups, look at this Mets lineup, though. Man, this Oviedo kid for St. Louis at 6'6". If this game goes, I'm liking him more and more for GPPs against this Mets lineup. But just Conforto, Smith's not hitting. I like this Oviedo kid. All right, so anybody else like shortstop? You like Rosario for the Indians? I don't think it's in a bad spot, especially when he's hitting against lefties with Minor. I like the Indians actually tonight.
Yeah, and Rosario, you can play him in the outfield too because he's an outfield shortstop guy. So yeah, I mean, I know Didi had a homer the other day too. Tatis, I mean, you're just paying to hope he hits a home run at 5,800. It's the only way he can pay himself off is to hit a homer or something like
Yep.
that. It's tough to put him in your lineup and really, it's you can't put him and Manny in there. We did it last night thinking it would work, and it's they both go over. You just paid 12,000, 15, $11,000 for two guys that didn't get anything. So, yeah, I mean, you could look at Gleyber Torres at home, but you're paying a lot of money for a guy at 4,700 to possibly hit a homer off of Greinke, who's got good numbers against the Yankees in his career. So
Yeah, I
I
don't
like
mess
the
with Greinke.
Greinke's a weird guy. I mean, he's definitely out there. He might throw 95 today, or he's going to throw an eephus pitch at 45.
Yeah.
So you have no idea what guy you're going to get. But I mean, if you're going by the chalk, it's going to tell you to go Trey Turner. I mean, if you're looking for the value, you could definitely go. Willie Adams is a 2,600, or Freddie Galvis is 3,300. So you got the top and the bottom of the order. But I feel like you said, like the industry is pushing you towards Turner. Like you almost have to play him.
And especially with some of this weather too, you gotta be careful with this New York, Phillies, St. Louis. You gotta make sure you're playing safe guys here too.
Yep. Yeah. I mean, yeah, it's gonna rain late tonight here. Like I'm in Jersey, and it's definitely gonna rain at some point. I mean, it shows like 9 or 10 o'clock at night. I mean, so you can pretty much almost be through most of the game. But the St. Louis game's in St. Louis, but the Philly, yeah, that game's it's a 67% chance of rain. So yeah, you're taking a crapshoot with some of those guys. But the
Yeah,
Philly
so we
game,
gotta
I
watch
think they'll
him
play.
with Bowman
Yeah.
and these guys.
Yeah. I mean, I think he's gonna. I think it'll end up playing. It's only a 31% chance right now. I don't know if Milwaukee's coming back either. Like this might be their only time to play them. So if they're not playing them tomorrow, then it could be a game at 2 a.m. Who knows?
I just drew a blank. Dan asked, I ain't got no love for Miz today. Why do I have a blank? Miz. Oh, my mind is shot right now. But going to the outfield.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of value here. I don't think we have to go up to the value. I mean, I don't think we have to pay up a lot. One of my favorites up top, though, I do like Alvarez for the Astros tonight. If that game does play, I also like Kyle Tucker down so cheap. I like JD a lot because I think they're getting that Detroit bullpen. JD's crushing at home for Boston. And I think my favorite play is actually Franmil Reyes. Some other numbers I was looking at against Mike Minor. We all know Reyes crushes lefties, and he's got now three hit games out of 6. And Minor's giving up crazy hard contact and fly balls to right-handed bats. So I think Franmil Reyes has played right into a really good spot today. Bat and cleanup, of course, also. But there's a lot of value, man, here tonight. A lot.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm just breaking up right now. Hold on. I think I'm back now. Can you hear me now? You good?
Yeah, I got you.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I kind of missed a little bit of what you were saying about the outfield, but yeah, there is definitely some value involved in there. I'm just, I mean, Acuna's obviously at the top there at 16% for our cheat sheet, with Meadows leading the way at 22% for a value guy. But Acuna at 6K, I mean, it's another one of those guys, like, if he doesn't get a hit, and it can't just be a base hit, like he needs like multiple hits to really pay off what he's going to do for you. It's so hard to really, when he's on. I mean, he's player of the month last month, but he's going back to, he's actually coming down to earth a little bit. So I don't know if he's a guy that I can jump on. I mean, he's a GPP play for sure. Every night you could put him every night in there. But yeah, you got some. Houston's got a couple guys. You got Alvarez is a guy that's showing up as a little bit of a, it says value at 4,700. I mean, there's some other guys. There's a lot of punt plays at the top too. DK value. You got Kyle Tucker, Mitch Haniger, Benintendi. So yeah, there's definitely a way to, fit in those two pitchers. I mean, you can find the value here. You don't always have to have the Mike Trouts. Although Mike Trout against a lefty, it's kind of hard not to want to play him. But I think he's more of a GPP tonight for me at the top end.
That's pretty much the one name I think you missed, and I agree with Alvarez. He would probably be the only one I would pay up for, as I just think he's in a really good spot tonight, and he's hitting well. But all those names you mentioned, all those guys are in play. I mean, Kyle Tucker, even though he's batting 188, I mean, Tucker is still He's got 4 homers out of his 5 against a righty, and he's got that short Yankee Stadium porch. But then do we have to worry about weather? I don't think so. But Kirillov's not playing. Well, I also had. I mean, my I want to play Meadows, but I'm so worried. Meadows another one. We know positive regression's coming, but when's it coming? Is it going to be tonight against Cobb? Because man, this guy's got to. I mean, he's got to wake up eventually. He's batting. What's he batting? Second or third tonight? He's batting second. And you see, he's been getting pinch hit for lately when lefties are coming in too. That worries me.
Yeah. It's interesting. I mean, because there's no real clear cut. I mean, Meadows is obviously the guy to play. I mean, it's at 22% on our cheat sheet. I mean, it's leading in every direction to play him. You got to find more value though if you're going to run out some of these other. Like if you're putting Turner in your lineup, I'm just looking at it right now. If you put in a Trey Turner and you try to fit in Alvarez, you're getting a little tight on a couple of these other positions. Like you're going to have to pick. If Turner's the guy to go with, then I think you're going to have to drop off of Alvarez. If you're going to do the chalk and you're going to take a Turner. So, I mean, I wish we knew if that Mets game was going to play because if Pilar's playing, I mean, he's at 2K. He hit a homer the other day. He's kind of one of those guys that's like, and he might, steal a bag here and there too, but that game's tough to really want to play anybody in right now. If they took DeGrom out, I feel like they're not going to play the game.
True. You get this Hernandez kid batting second. He's batting third tonight for the Nationals, or batting second. He's only 3-2. You can probably slide him in for a real value. Feels like I'm missing somebody. I did have Pilar down as a punt, but I think I probably would be scared off with that play. But we could. I mean, I'd have no problem tonight going 3 outfielders under 4K. I mean, really, when you got. I mean, I like DJ. I like DJ Stewart tonight too. But then I know he sat out yesterday. He pulled. I don't know. He had some kind of problem. I'm not even sure if he's playing tonight. How about we got Benintendi batting second, only 3K against Matone. I mean, or Matone or the kid there, Hinker. I think Benny's definitely in play. He had a double dong on Saturday. So there's a bunch of ways. Kyle Lewis, I mean, he's eventually going to wake up. I mean, he's still batting cleanup for Seattle. So there's definitely ways to go here tonight in the outfield. I probably would be leaning like a Hernandez for the Nationals, maybe like a Benny for Kansas City or Meadows.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, I think, you could go a Hernandez, Benintendi, Meadows in the outfield. Like you said, I mean, you don't have to pay up for those big name guys. I just don't, like if you got to play the guys in their good spots and that, they're seeing the ball well. And like you said, Cobb, I mean, his 2 last outings have been atrocious for starting. I mean, I think he didn't even get an out in the one game, and then he had like a negative something the next game. So he's got a 7 ERA on the year. I mean, his numbers are showing you that he is just getting pounded. So it's almost like you can attack him a little bit, and like get some value somewhere else. So yeah, I like that call. I like the Meadows play. I mean, it's definitely, I mean, that's another one of those ones that our cheat sheet is going to lead you to that, and I think that's what the industry is doing a little bit too. At 3,700, 22% owned. I don't think it's updated again since then, but
Yeah.
I mean, if you're going the way we are, I mean, if you go with Pavetta, then you can almost play anybody you want because you're saving like $4,000. So it just depends on which way you want to construct your lineup.
And there's so many ways to go. And actually, cheat sheet was just updated 2 minutes ago. It's got Meadows, but nobody else is under 17%. So all those names you mentioned are in play. I'm not playing Acuna at 6K. I mean, but even Meadows at 22% is not high. So I don't think Meadows is not a must play. I said he's hurt me more than he's helped me this year. But we may end up there just because of the price, and he's he's in a good spot tonight. So all right, it's 6:50. We're getting close to lock here. Who's your top stack today?
Oof, I don't even think about that stuff half the time. Well, you give me your stack first, because
I actually like well, I'm not sure about the Philly games, the weather. I did like the Phillies. I do like the A's tonight as a sneaky stack. Those lefties, Of course, the Padres, because they didn't hit last night. I can see them going off of Mitch Keller tonight. And once again, I like Seattle again. I like Seattle every night. Eventually, they're going to go up because Jorge Lopez doesn't do anything for me.
Yeah, I'm on all those. Yeah, I mean, I didn't even really look into it just because I kind of rushed home to look at it. So, yeah, I mean, I'm not a big stack guy, so I'll listen to you on those. I don't really, I'm not a big stack GPP guy, but
And I guess the Braves. The Braves are a really good spot in the road
yeah,
tonight, and it's good hitting weather there too. It's like 80-something degrees there. So, and this game, this could be a good game stack tonight. This Washington and the Braves game.
yeah. I mean, if you want to go crazy, the guy that's pitching against the Dodgers today, I know it's only a 7 inning game, but it's his first start of the year. I mean, so you could always throw a Dodger stack in there because you got a rookie facing like murderer's row of a lineup that whenever they go off. So, I mean, I'm going to throw Dodgers out there, even though it's a 7 inning game. I think they could score 10 runs, so you never know.
That's a good
And
call because
they'll be super low owned.
Yep, they're going to be so low owned, and they score, 6-7 runs in the first 3 innings, it's not going to matter. You got Chris Taylor batting third tonight. I see Will Smith. So we all like Will Smith batting cleanup.
Yeah.
All right. So if anybody doesn't have any questions, throw them up there. We do have Prize Picks Quick, code YFC. I did put in the article. I had 2 of them, and I was going to look real quick. Actually, in the article, I put an over on Bo Bichette 7-5. I like definitely Carlos Santana over 7. If there's anybody else here, Santana's still 7. Franmil Reyes is only 6-5. Take Franmil Reyes as the over 6-5. Even probably Brandon Lowe over 6-5. That's kind of low too for Brandon Lowe. Get him, gets himself a double or home run. He got it. So even Meadows is 7. But definitely the Franmil Reyes is 6-5. The Carlos Santana over 7. So fade any games due to weather. I came late. I think you're on here before me, Dan. Actually, let me call up the one last time here to see if there's been any changes. I just saw a tweet come out from Kevin Roth. Bats storms in St. Louis could be problematic. This game is not safe. Though I lean towards them playing through light rain and getting the game in. So might be careful with the St. Louis game. Well, we've been saying that. The Mets game looks like it may be more of a trouble now. Maybe a delay in Philadelphia, but they still should play. And it looks like it's clearing out of Washington. So I think that we're in pretty good shape. I would be worried about the Mets in St. Louis. That'd be the one game I would be worried about. Yeah,
and then real quick at first base, Mlb Dfs for Tampa Bay is, he's not creeping up there, but he's at 3,200. He's listed on our thing as a GPP, but it's not a bad spot if you want to save some money if you don't go the Josh Bell route. He's 9%, I think, on our thing. 7%. I mean, he's got a pretty good numbers. He's a little cheaper if you need the money. If you need to find a better bat, sitting in a 5-hole, facing, like we said again, an Alex Cobb who's really not very good right now.
3 hits
just
last
throwing
night
it out
too.
there. Yeah, 3 hits last night. So he's not a home run hitter, but Cobb is a fly ball pitcher sometimes, so could become a home run hitter real quick.
Another name I didn't mention was Jorge Polanco starting to hit the ball too for Minnesota. If you have the money, I don't mind Polanco tonight either. But yeah, that's it. We got a good 10 minutes to lock. Good luck, guys. I think we do it tonight with the 2 big pitchers, and I'm not gonna go crazy on Pivetta. Actually, with the cheat sheet come out, did Pivetta go up in ownership? Let me look here. No, Pavetta's now second. Pivetta, Bauer, and Noah are all about the same. They're all in the 30s. So,
yep.
For me, it's Bauer and Noah. But
yep.
Pavetta's people can look at Pivetta once again. It's against Detroit. It was horrible. Probably the worst hitting team in majors in years. So Pivetta still in play. So,
yep.
All right, that's it. Thank you, Corey. Appreciate it. Thanks to Mickey, our producer. 6:53. We're out of here.
See you guys.